Hey, Shalom, Jacob from Ahava, Echad. Thanks for tuning in again. We appreciate the feedback on the first video, which was more of like a general introduction with a skip right to the Aleph-Bet lesson, because it's the most essential thing. And now we're going to go in depth into every source that's on the list that you could download. The link will be in the description, and the time markers will be in the description as well. And here you could see the English translation of the index. So we'll go through all of these topics together, and we'll see that now. So we touched upon the fact that this is the logo for Ahava Echad, and the logo itself, I'm gonna zoom out of here. The logo itself is actually taken from the Aleph-Bet chart, the symbol Pe, which Pe means a mouth in biblical Hebrew. But what happens is that when you look at the Pe in biblical Hebrew, you notice that in the white space that's within the symbol is the shape of a bet. I mean, the bet here is big, but inside is a bet. And bet has everything to do with the inside, and Pe has everything to do with the outside, because of just how this is structured, how Hashem, the infinite being, created these symbols. But basically, Pe, which is a mouth, and another mouth, because inside the mouth is bet is numerically 2, there's 2 sets of white teeth. So literally, one of the things that the Pe depicts is a mouth with, 2 teeth, one on top and one on the bottom. And the Pe flipped to another symbol Pe, would form this Aleph in the middle. And this is the symbol that really depicts the concept Pe el Pe, which is literally mouth to mouth. The Targum is words with words. It's a conversation from mouth. The words that come out of the mouth to the other, and the other mouth responds. That's the conversation. And then panim el panim, which is face to face. So you have the Pe, Aleph, Pe, Pe, Aleph, Pe. And this is a very significant thing, that 2 symbol Pes unite and make an Aleph. And that's the conversation. That's called dibur. That's called communication, face to face, the highest level of learning. And that is what's seen in the symbol. And then on a deeper level, I mean, that's a good thing. Not even a deeper level, but just another thing that's for a more mature audience, I guess, is the fact that the real natural way to pronounce an Aleph, as this Rav taught me in the Wayu Beit Midrash after Shacharit, I do not know the Rav's name, but he heard me praying and he corrected me in the 3 or 4 instances in Shacharit when I was praying out loud, that you could hear where an Aleph has a shva, which means pronounce the Aleph with its natural sound. And the natural sound, he pointed out to me, the Rav pointed out, is silence. Like the way that you pronounce an Aleph really is like that. That's how you pronounce an Aleph, by not saying anything. So the silence is the pronunciation of the Aleph. The Hashem, which as we've learned is what the Aleph is really alluding to, the first symbol that's really made up of 26, but it's pointing to Hashem, the infinite being, who's so quiet. And Aleph begins the word for mute, which is ilem, Aleph Lamed Mem. And so Hashem is as if mute. I mean, not if we understand that what Hashem already communicated everything that we'll need till the end of time in the Torah itself. Not just the written Torah, obviously, but the spoken Torah. The written Torah is like a fraction of what it is the entire Torah. The main part of Torah is the spoken Torah, without which we don't even have a written Torah, without which we can't even pronounce a single symbol, without which we have no idea what any word means, and we can go into all that, and we will go into all that, what the source is. That actually would be a good thing to add to this list. The sources of Hillel Hazaken, and how these different potential converts approached Shammai first, and then sort of were rejected by Shammai. They went to Hillel, his partner, his study partner, and asked him, and Hillel was able to then convert them and taught them in the way, the different styles of learning. Shammai was worried about the honor of the Torah, so you can't really disrespect. But Hillel had the gentle touch and knew that the people were joking. Their hearts are really good if he teaches them properly and answers their question. But again, these two approaches anyway, we'll include those sources here as well. Okay, and so this symbol is what is depicted, the face-to-face conversation. And also there's special words in Tehillim, which is Afafuni Havle Mavet. Afafuni, the Targum is Hikifuni, that Hekifu is like they surrounded me. But the word Afafuni is Aleph, Pei, and Pei, which is this symbol essentially, and inside is sort of trapped and locked. So Afafuni has to do with also being surrounded. And Melafefon, like Melafefon really means something that's completely surrounded and closed. It's used in modern Hebrew for the name of for a cucumber, but it actually might have a different meaning, or the cucumber was called that because of a feature that the cucumber wraps completely around neatly. I don't know, I have to look into it. But all these things are connected. These are things that don't exist really in other languages, the sensical connections between everything, and you'll see and you'll explore and you guide your journey. It's really an amazing thing. So that is what the Pei symbolizes, the Pe el Pe, the Ahava Echad logo, Pe el Pe, Panim el Panim. And that is the deeper thing that I didn't mention in that previous video, but we're going to be going through the sources one by one, and so that would be a big source and a big part to say that, and to make sure that we understand that this really is a special symbol of unity. And the same thing that could surround and be like a siege, God forbid, but the good flip side of that is when you're surrounded and protected. And that's, again, the Aleph. Hashem surrounds and protects all people, especially the people who are doing good and arriving to the truth, which is emet in Hebrew. Truth is an English word, but really it's emet. From Aleph till Mem till Tav, from the first symbol to the middle symbol to the last symbol of the Aleph Bet. Emet is pointing to the entire system of Aleph Bet, what you don't get when you're hearing the English word truth. There's nothing like that really. Although truth is a beautiful source where it comes from. As we said in the previous video, Toroth, two Torahs, Toroth in plural, or Torah itself is true, the same symbols as true. This the root of Rabbi Isaac Mosenson, Shlita via Rabbi Zamir Cohen. The roots of all languages is Hebrew and the heavy accent of Hebrew called Aramaic, and like the expansion. There's so much going on, there's a lot of information, but that's what we're all going to get into. So that is just a deeper look at the logo, and so there's more to say on that as well. But that the main part here, as we see in the index, is panim el panim, face to face. Okay, and then we'll get into v'romemanu mikol lashon, what that means, and why do we say it, and things like that, to maybe break up the videos into individual bite-sized sections. Let's see how this goes. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know. Please reach out if you have any questions and comments. And B'ezrat Hashem, we'll see you in the next video.